Hey everybody, the Unconscious Not here, coming at you with another daily video. I like to make these because when I was recovering and in the healing journey, these types of videos from other people were so important, just to be reminded every day, boom, you got this, you can do this. You know, it may seem like it's taking forever, or I'm making no progress, or I'm going backwards. You're not going backwards. You'll get more. Your body will fight you. Your body doesn't like change, but you're not going backwards. You might get a monster flare, a monster this way. Your body does not like to change. It likes the old victim. It likes to be in the old victim. And you have to change that mentality. If you're the victim, you're going to have symptoms because your body's attached to that, you know. It enjoys that. And what I've noticed is when you're in the recovery process, you tend to search for people with the exact same symptoms as you. You want to find somebody with the exact same set of symptoms, exact same circumstances that has recovered using these techniques. And if you don't find it, you think, oh no, nobody has exactly what I have. They don't have exactly what I have, therefore I can never get better. It's not true. Nobody's going to have the same symptoms because everybody has different upbringings, everybody has different genetics. The way you express stress is different for everybody. When some people are stressed, they're insomniacs. When some people are stressed, they chronic fatigue. Their body shuts down, you know. Some people, when they're stressed, they get back pain. Actually, a lot of people get back pain when they are in chronic stress or feel trapped or in a state of feeling unwell or unloved or unappreciated, or like I said before, like a human doormat. When you're in that state for long enough, it presents itself as back pain. That's why Sarno created his book 40 years ago, Healing Back Pain, because he noticed so many people with back pain. But then the back pain, I will say, if you have straight up normal back pain, a few herniated discs or something silly like that, that is pretty easy to find somebody with a matching story because so many people have that similar story. I wasn't happy. I was stressed at life. I was 40 years old, 45 years old, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my back hurts so bad. I'm not the young man I used to be. I'm not the young woman I used to be. Oh, I went to the doctor. They found herniated discs. They need to do surgery. We know that's all BS. That's straight up back pain's easier to mind body because there's a million examples of people getting over back pain just with psychological methods and using Sarno's techniques of really letting go and reflecting on your life and treating yourself better and really loving yourself. But people with like autoimmune issues, this was my issue. I couldn't find anybody who had recovered without using medical, severe, harsh drugs their entire life or just becoming some immobile, basically. So it was harder to find stories, but then I stumbled upon Peter Winslow, Sky Denton had their podcast together, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's some people with what I have, and they completely got over it, and they're completely recovered with no pills, no nothing, and they seem like the happiest people in the world. I said, well, okay, now I can grab onto this. But then I'm like, well, they don't have the exact same symptoms as I had. Well, my hip hurts this way, and I have chest pain, and I actually have IBS too. And they never talked about that. And I have panic attacks every day. And this is blah, blah, blah. And I started making excuses for why this wouldn't work for me. I didn't realize it was my body trying to make resistance and trying to stand in the way, because the body and the mind, part of it hates to change. It has established itself as a victim. I've been established as a victim. It doesn't like to change. It is comfortable. It knows it is safe there. It might not feel good, but it's established. It's established and it's not going to change. It's like, okay, I can be a victim. My parents, they can baby me a little bit. My friends will baby me. My significant others will baby me. If I don't want to do something, if I don't want to go somewhere, I don't want to go on a vacation, don't want to do this, I always have an excuse. And when you don't have these symptoms, well, your excuse kind of goes out the window. If you get better, you're not going to have these excuses. Really reflect on that. What is your condition gaining you? It may seem counterintuitive. We're going to circle. This is actually a topic that we could talk about a long time. It's kind of counterintuitive, but what is my condition gaining me? You have an excuse. You don't have to say, if somebody says, do you want to go to this concert? You don't have to say, actually, that music sucks. That's a terrible concert. I don't want to go. You just say, oh, I have a back, my sciatica's acting up. Oh, I'm limping. Oh, my IBS is flaring. I'm on the toilet. And it actually is. Because you're such a good person. You're such a good person, you can't actually consciously lie. You can't consciously lie. If you said, oh, I have XYZ back pain, I can't do this and that, and you didn't have it, you would feel guilty. So your body will manifest these symptoms, present it, even if it's a little bit of the symptom, and then bam, you have your excuse. You're the victim. Boom, you don't have to do what you don't want to do. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. And you get to stay home and relax in your comfort zone. Think about that. Where's your comfort zone? You need to get out of it, because if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you're never going to recover. Because you're not changing your environment. Like Joe Dispenza says, you're creating a new environment in your brain, and you have to break out of all your environments. You got to change everything, man. Change the way you think. Well, changing the way you think is probably the most important. I digress again. We're talking about why is it important to find somebody with the exact same symptoms as you? It's not. It's not important at all. You're very unique. We all have our same different symptoms. It doesn't matter. You do not have to find a match. And you cannot get discouraged because you can't find a match. I know that's what you're going to do. You're going to look and look and look, and then you'll never find somebody with the exact match. And if you do, you'll find something wrong with it. Why do you think people with IBS, I mean, it's not as popular now, but it's becoming more and more popular. The Mindbody technique is harder for some of them to approach because each one has a different allergy to something else, or a different sensitivity to something else. Or I'm triggered in the morning, I'm triggered at night. And nobody really has the same thing. They say, well, he's allergic to that. He's intolerant to this. I'm not doing that. I'm intolerant to dairy, but I'm not. And you'll have all these little rabbit holes you go down, which will distract and distract and distract. And you can do this with so many different ailments. Distract and distract and distract. You truly will never just let go and be like, you know what? We all kind of have this. We all have the same thing. It's manifesting differently, because that's the way our body is. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start your recovery. So I encourage you today to just realize, hey, so many people have done this. So many people have done this with worse conditions than yours. I guarantee it, there's somebody with something worse than you. I feel lucky that I had something so mild as ankylosing spondylitis and autoimmune. And it's crazy to say that, because when I got the diagnosis, I thought it was a death sentence. But now I'm very thankful. It could have presented as, all the stress on my body could have presented as something much, much worse. Something. I mean, people have heart attacks and strokes and stuff from chronic stress. That can happen. I mean, you're lucky with your condition. Thank your body for telling you, hey, something's wrong. Your deep heart of hearts, not the part that wants to be a victim. That's the superficial part. That's the lazy part of your body that wants to be a victim. The deep heart of hearts, your soul, is trying to wake you up and saying, hey, here's this pain. Wake up. Get going. Change your mindset, because we're not happy here. Let's change and be happy. Genuinely happy. All right. Talk to you later.